Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm Eran, the CEO and founder of Shopin. And really interesting, by the way, I think it was last week, we were the winners of Coin Agenda Global. So investors voted us the best startup in ICO out of 45 competing startups and ICOs. And what we're doing is we're building a decentralized Amazon. Why? Because we believe that every time that you have too many, if you have a centralized solution of all the retailers, there's somebody in control. Somebody is taking away the users eventually, somebody is squeezing the margins, and it's not going to be a healthy and sustainable situation. And it's all come to life. One retailer is going bankrupt a month right now. Even though e-commerce is a massive opportunity, there's $1 trillion that is being lost every single year. Sorry, $4 trillion, which is lost every single year just in shopping cart abandonment. And why? Because only 7% of retailers can actually recognize their customers across different channels and devices. These people do not know who the customer is. And these numbers, by the way, pale into insignificance on the kind of people who are lost in search. You ever been to Macy's.com, gone to like the men's section or the women's section, seen 36 subcategories, then you go and see another 36 subcategories, you look for skinny jeans, you see 300 items. Why can't the items that you want find you instead of you being lost in the process? And the time has come for retailers to band together because this man over here, Jeff Bezos, is coming to eat their lunch. How did they do it? Well, you see, Amazon's quite incredible because you have one ecosystem with all the retailers and one user profile. So they're all sharing your purchase data. Now, there's no ways that in the real world, Brooks Brothers and J.Crew are sharing purchase data with one another because they see each other as competitors, but not in Amazon. In fact, this data sharing ecosystem of purchase data is so effective that 30% of Amazon's revenue is attributable to purchase data, personalization based on purchase data. Just to put that into perspective, if Amazon is 30% of the world's e-commerce, this means that little product recommendation bar on Amazon is 10% of the world's e-commerce. Why can't that come to every single website? So why don't retailers want to be part of this ecosystem? Number one, Amazon takes away your customers over time, and Amazon's opening up stores right next to their stores. Number two, Amazon takes 25% off the top and squeezes the margins into unsustainability. Number three, every single purchase, you're surrounded by your competitors. And of course, you become an Amazon page. So think of the brands that you're wearing today, the lineage behind those brands. That's all wiped clean. It's an Amazon experience. So what we do is we combine the two things that retailers are looking for. Number one, verified purchase history from all the different retailers. The user becomes the owner of their purchase history across the web. And this is very important because our solution makes the retailers GDPR compliant, which is very important. From the 25th of May across Europe, the user is the owner of the data, and that's law. So we're working with that to give the user the data in tandem with the retailers. And then we have a little shopper IQ game similar to Stitch Fix. So what we're building is one single sovereign identity, one shopper profile for users to have across the web so they can have an Amazon experience on every site that they go to and eventually every store. How does it work? Well, we start off with working with the retailer. The retailer sends emails out to its constituency, to its database. The user opts in. When the user opts in, they get all of the inventory that they've ever purchased, together with the purchase history. So we understand the purchase history in context because we get that data from the retailer. And we don't own it, the user owns it. And then they play a little shopper IQ game, similar to Stitch Fix, and we create an enhanced shopper profile. We then take that shopper profile and we look in our mesh network of all other retailers that have joined or will join, and we see if the user exists there. We pull in all of their purchase data and we give it to the user. And now you have a more enhanced customer profile. And we serve that data back up to retailers that you, the owner of the data, have approved. And on their websites, they have just for you recommendations, a special web page where you have just for you recommendations. We can move to a little video now, and you can actually see the product. This is a real product, by the way, and we've tested it thoroughly. Just if you wait a moment. Here you can see on J. Lindenberg, we actually have the product live. You can actually see that your size is already pre-populated because we understand your size from all different retailers. So no more looking for that. You click checkout. Because we integrated onto every one of these websites, you get Amazon-like benefits. You can check out with Shopin. And when you go through to here, here's your billing and shipping information. Guess what? No more filling out forms on every single website that you go to. One-click checkout on every website. And you've just gone through a painful process in a number of seconds that usually takes you 10 to 15 minutes. No wonder people are lost in this process. So going back to the presentation, if you just give me a moment. Cool. So who are we and why do we believe they had the audacity to pull this off, of turning the 70% of the web into a decentralized Amazon, where the users are in control? Well, first of all, I've built 3 companies and sold 3 companies as a founder. I've won a number of different prizes, including the United Nations World Summit Award for Innovation. I have a recommendation from the White House, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually not the person who's the amazing person in this team. The real people who are driving this company are people like Divakar Ayapati, my co-founder and CTO. Divakar was the first and principal engineer at Priceline, and there for 14 years, he built and architected the whole Priceline, Generation 1 and Generation 2, which is still in use today. Sitting next to him is Mike Rizzo, who was there for 15 years, the VP of all product development, as well as customer-facing and client-facing products. And Abhishek Yermala, and Abhishek he was the lead engineer who architected the entire caching system of Priceline. Together with them is one of my best friends, Jeremy Harkness, who owns multiple patents, built the world's first failover router. He's just been involved in crypto for the last 5 years. And how do we get to the retailers? I mean, that's one of the big questions. How do we do these crazy deals with retailers where they onboard the users? Well, Michael Herman, our CRO, was actually the president of global sales at Eli Tahari, one of the biggest brands. And before that, he was an SVP at Donna Karan and Valentino and DKNY. And we're supported by some incredible advisors. For example, Steven Narayoff, who was the architect of the Ethereum ICO, and he actually invented gas, is one of our really great advisors, as well as Sampar Parkinen, who was the founder of Rapid Blue, which changed the way that beacon technology works inside retail companies, and that was acquired by ShopTracker. So we've got some really incredible people supporting us. We've talked a lot about the retailers. What do you, the consumer, get out of it? You get 5 great things. Number 1, you own your data. You get an activity feed to see who's accessing your data, and you're in control of it. Number 2, perfect recommendations on every website that you go to. And if you go and buy something on one website, your profile gets more intelligent, every website responds. This means that they also bleed less money in marketing by marketing things to you that you've already bought. So we can even solve the marketing part of their problems. Secondly, one-click checkout on every website. Go to one app, and let's say you've ordered 20 items across the web from 20 different places. It's all inside your app, and you can do all your returns from there. One of my favorite things, though, is that you can share your Shopin profile with your friends and family. Why is that important? Because you can log on. I can share my profile with all of you. You can log on into different websites, switch to my filter, and actually access my profile on those through my filter and buy me things that I want. Why is that important? Does anyone here know what the daily return rate for a retailer is on average? Anyone? Throw me a bone here, people. 20%. I've got 20% from the person in the front, I've got 10% from the person over here, 30% from the person in the back, and 40% is the winner. 40% of what comes out of a retailer comes back every day. 65% in season. Why? Because you can't identify the user across different brands, so you don't understand sizing. They have to order 2 or 3 of the same product. In season, you get the wrong products from people, the wrong size, and the wrong fit. We can change that substantially. We've tested this. There are 750,000 people almost who have joined us. And with our product recommendations, when we did tests with Xenia and Bed Bath & Beyond, not only did 750,000 people join, but they on average purchased 22% more often than people without those product recommendations. We have a chance to actually save the retail world. And what better way to actually be able to market to them by understanding what their conversion is across multiple websites across the retail. We're issuing 1.5 billion tokens. How do we kickstart the utility markets and the market in general? We're going to take 30% of the tokens that we issue and keep them aside for the retailers on the exchange. The retailers pay us a traditional model, $15,000 to $50,000 a month. We're going to give them half that back by purchasing the tokens directly from the exchange, creating frothiness on the exchange from day one. Now the retailer has an asset on their books. They can take this asset, they can take these tokens and give them to users to accept adverts and to get involved in loyalty. Users can then redeem those tokens within stores, physical stores, as well as online. And we already are doing partnerships with incredible companies like iVend, which are already into 22 different countries and own the majority of the middle market. We're working with a number of really incredible companies. We've just completed our first M&A, where we've just grown by another 150,000 users. We'll be launching MVP of our new technology in closed door beta in December, and in February we'll be launching with release candidate 1. There is a great opportunity for investors to get involved in our private pre-sale, which is a $5 million private pre-sale. We're raising $50 million in total in our token sale in February. And we're already backed by some incredible funds, in fact, by the largest crypto fund in the world, as well as some other great people like Nima Capital, Hazur Partners, and even the founder of DocuSign. My name's Eran, and we believe that users should own their data because they need to get values. They need to get value before their values are intact. It's not enough to just keep the data secure. You have to have a real value for them to understand that that data is valuable. So thank you very much.